Hello and welcome to the new episode of Frog Reviews. So the previous episode of Frog Reviews was about the HK417, where I went in depth explaining all different upgrades that were done through the entire life of the HK417 GBBRs from VFC, from the original HK417 to the latest M110A1. Today the video will be a little different because I will not dive that deep into the details of any particular gun and its history, let's say, but I will address the new hot topic that came from VFC, which is the L403A1 GBBR. And this still not will be exactly a review, it will be, you will see when you watch the video. Here I have the gun. Already you see I exchanged some parts, CTR stock. There is the nice optical combo similar to the original used on these guns by the Brits. And generally, you know me, I'm a fan of the Knights armament and I'm a fan of the British UKSF, so I had to get this gun, yeah? The KS1 gun used by the Royal Marines, it even has their logo on the buffer tube. I have to have it. So overall, I'm really impressed with the quality. I really like this gun, especially the handguard. It's really nicely fixed because this is a URX type of handguard, and actually the M110s from VFC also have this kind of handguard, and compared to the M110 handguard, which is very bad, this one is great. So what is bad in the M110? In the M110 what is bad is that these handguards, they never sit straight on the gun. So if you have a brand new gun, you can take some straight ruler or whatever, you can put it on the top of the gun or on the side, and you will see that this rail is always like pointing to the side, down, up. It's terrible design. But here it's really solid, and I checked and it's straight, at least in my gun. But I actually have to complain on something, because this gun was advertised with some special accessories that will be available, one of which is this beautiful wrench to remove the front of the gun, the barrel and the URX handguard. And there was a video, I believe recorded by the shop in which I actually bought this gun, the Action Airsoft, where they said, I mean the VFC representatives, they said that it will not be even necessary to buy this wrench because the chamber with the inner barrel is removable to the rear, and because of this you don't really need the tool to ever disassemble the front of it. Yeah, I wanted the gun, I bought it in some pre-order, I saw these wrenches are there available too, so my first thought was okay, like I build a lot of guns, as you probably can imagine, so I'm gonna order this wrench anyway. Maybe I will never use it, yeah, let's see, but definitely I need to have it if there is some special thing. For example, the gas block is also held by a crown nut. There is a second crown nut probably somewhere deep here that holds the barrel, yeah. So in case I ever need to disassemble it, better get this wrench. So here I am with this gun, perfect quality, nice features, everything like a real gun. I'm so happy I have it, and then I take it and I notice something. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but if you look on the barrel here, it's actually looking sad. I know that this is a free float gun, but the barrel probably should be in the middle of the handguard, not like going down to the bottom, right? So I noticed it, and then I took my hand. I'm using zero force on my finger, right? So look. Yeah, if I do the side to side, I will show it later in a closer perspective, but basically the tip of the barrel moves with no resistance in a circle that has 1 centimeter diameter, okay? So it's extremely bad. It's extremely bad. It will never be accurate. I think this will loosen even more over time where you shoot it because it's a GBBR. And actually I doubt that the chamber and the inner barrel has a good support, because this would be normally supported by the attachment of the barrel in the gun, yeah? So if the barrel is completely loose, then probably if you shoot this kind of gun you can actually damage it because the parts inside will fly, yeah? So I haven't seen how it's made inside. I doubt that this is, let's say, a fault of the gun design itself. I think this is just quality control and somebody who assembled the gun doing very sloppy job. But luckily, I purchased this wrench together with the gun, right? So what I'm going to do right now, I'm gonna unbox this, and in my workshop you will see, together with me, I will be doing this for the first time in my life. I will basically remove it, I mean those nuts and the outer barrel, and we will find out what's wrong and if I can really fix it, and we will see how I can fix it with this particular wrench. I never used it, you see it's in original package, so also for me this is time to learn something new. So here we go. I already have just the upper receiver, I don't need the lower receiver for it, but obviously I have to have this optic on, because you know, you could say it's easier without the optic, but in my case I just have to make good impression, right? So the optic stays for this process. There is the wrench still unpacked, and one thing I will do is to remove the bolt carrier together with the charging handle. So this new type. This pin here is kind of a little funny, but when it's guided in the receiver I believe it's not that bad actually. So let's put these aside. And now I should be able to operate here. So you see how it moves, yeah? Now in a closer perspective it's like unacceptable, yeah? It's, as I said, I think we will figure out that it's not an issue of the gun but quality control and the assembly in general, but this kind of thing should not even reach the customer hand. I believe everybody can agree with me, right? Okay, anyway, let's unpack this. So you see, that's the first time this is opened. It's not like I loosened the part on purpose. Bam. So what we get, this one definitely will be for the crown nuts deep inside, and this is probably for the gas block. It's very heavy, yeah? It's made of steel. I don't know if you watched my video in which I assembled the L403A1 and there I had similar wrench. Maybe actually we can test in a second if they are not the same, but that one was from aluminum, yeah, so much lighter and less robust, so to say. Of course, make sure that you have a frog with you. So the flash hider is untightened, which I appreciate because sometimes it's very difficult to remove them and maybe it's unnecessary. Come on. So pretty standard way, we have the flash hider with airsoft crash washer and an o-ring, yeah. And theoretically now I should take these two like that, put it in here, and I should be able to yeah, you have to be careful, but I should be able to untighten the nut of the gas block, which went very easily. Okay, now let's use some maybe tool like to push this gas block somewhere to the front. Okay, this is extremely easy too. And now this, like, you can really hurt somebody with this, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in. Yeah, it fits to some thread inside. And first I will try to actually unscrew it. Let me try. Oh, here the thread is much holding much stronger, yeah? So it seems like the barrel is actually not, like, the issue with the barrel maybe is not because it is like untightened, but it's shimmed wrongly, yeah? So there is not enough push between the barrel and the receiver where it sits, yeah? But I also did not remove the inner barrel and the chamber. Honestly, I don't think you really need to do it in order to like turn the nut, yeah? So let's see if I'm able to do it off screen where I can put more force on that wrench. Okay, and actually off screen I was able to untighten it. It was not so bad, yeah, not bad at all. So I don't know if this is already like fully loose or not. No, not yet. It should be released. Yes. So we see the nut is there. It came out, nice piece of steel, and the barrel is still held inside, but the rail comes off. Okay. Okay, then I removed the rail, still not exactly what I wanted. So now the second round, I believe the wrench should go in pretty nicely, but it doesn't really fit, which is actually funny. So the small one is definitely not the one to use here. So again, I'm going off screen, but you can see that these teeth on the VFC wrench is like they are bigger than the cutouts here. So let's see if I can figure this out somehow. And it's like a no-go, yeah? So this wrench doesn't enter because these surfaces deep here are like flat, yeah? If you look at angle, the barrel nut is round, but the surface here is actually milled. There are milling marks on the steel crown nut, and they are flat. And this is a piece of pipe, yeah? So the inside of each tooth on this pipe is actually rounded, and you can see where the scratches are because I tried to push it in with some hammer, yeah? And I cannot because those round edges here, the corners, let's say, are blocked. So that's funny because this is supposed to fit, yeah? Like for sure the barrel is moving. The barrel nut is secured properly, but the barrel itself has the wobble inside, so there is not enough shims between the barrel and the receiver, definitely. But anyway, I need to take this off, and what I can do, I can use alternative wrench and just, you know, remove it, maybe scratch it and damage it a bit, which I don't want to do. It's a premium gun, I want it in a nice pristine condition. Or I can file the inside of this wrench to be able to, you know, slide over here, which I'm gonna do because the wrench is just a tool. Okay, and I did it. So after enough filing, I was able to at least partially engage the nut with the wrench. I should file a little more probably, and you see that I'm able to remove it, yeah? So then this is correct, bam, and here we go. So what is the issue? The issue, if I can remove now the nut from the wrench. Okay, I used some force and it came out. And you see how I filed the wrench inside, yeah? So it's more flatter now. It's still not perfect, yeah? You saw that I did not manage to like push it completely. But it's, let's say, like 1/3 engaged, and this is like solid steel things. So it's really robust, yeah? I don't think you need to go more than this. So the problem is that when the nut is tightened, there is still clearance on this side of the barrel, and basically it wobbles. So for this reason you need to take a shim, the barrel shim, and just put it there. This type of a shim, honestly, like I have some from my HAO sets and so on, but if I wanted to order one, I would need to find from where to take it, yeah? You see I put it here. I put for the moment a single one. I will check off screen how many of these shims I need. I can also tell you that in my case the thickness, this is just 0.15 millimeter, yeah, so probably I will need like more. Let's see, I have plenty of those from those other kits, like I said, so I will assemble it correctly, screw it back, there is like no wobble, and I will let you know what amount I actually needed, yeah. Okay, so now I have no wobble. It will be easier to demonstrate when the complete gun is assembled, but you can believe me, I have no wobble now. So what I did is I used this actually it's like 0.12 shim first. I tightened it properly, and I saw that already the barrel seems to be kind of secured. I tried the wobble and I thought there was still just a bit, and then Frog came and told me, oh, let's, you know, not take any risks, let's tighten it properly. So I added a 0.2 shim, yeah, so in total I added 0.3 shims, and now this is like absolutely fine. So why there was an issue is that if you actually look here, yeah, so if you tighten this barrel nut, it will start to like rest on the receiver on the top. On the bottom there is actually a bit of gap, I don't know if this is really visible, but on the top it's on touch almost. and without those shims it was already on touch, so you could not tighten it more, but the barrel was loose. Yeah, so wrong tolerances, something in the assembly, but that's exactly why you have those barrel shims. Yeah, that's exactly why you use them. And regarding those barrel shims, actually if you need them you can probably buy them separately, but there is also another option, because these exact dimension of the shims, they are used for like table saw devices. Yeah, like table saw to cut wood. Yeah, I don't know honestly what you do with it, but you use the exact same diameter and size of the shim. And they of course come in many thicknesses for that saw for the wood. Yeah, so here you see this is like 30 millimeters outer diameter, and the inner diameter is probably 1 inch. Yeah, I'm measuring through the foil bag. Yeah, but this is 1 inch internal, and outer diameter, let's say 30. And I know it because when you buy on, for example, AliExpress, those cheap Geisley rails for the HK416s, now they are hard to get, but still people buy them somewhere. So when you buy them, they come with the barrel nut dedicated for this Geisley handguard. And on VFC guns, if you put it on the HK, for example, HK416A5 of VFC, the GBBR, the barrel will be completely loose, and you need like 2 millimeters of shim in order to secure it. It's kind of the same issue as here. And I bought these shims of thickness 1 millimeter, and just were, you know, I was squeezing them under the barrel nut on these guns where I assembled the Geisleys, and I was using these washers for the table saw. Yeah, so if you don't know where to get it, you know the size, that's it. I tend to talk too much, so let's reduce the amount of talking. Now I'm dropping in the URX rail. This should not be any surprise anymore. It should go in nicely. Actually, it's like very well positioned on the barrel nut, unlike the system from the M110 I already spoke about. And I will tighten the nut off screen, yeah, but it's so kind of obvious what will happen. Yeah, I throw it in and tighten it the way I removed it, just the opposite direction. Okay, so I tightened it. Now you can see, like, it moves anyway because it's a free float, yeah. But right now it's stiff like crazy. Yeah, it's really like I need some force to move it, and it's not like a wobble. It just moves under, you know, like the deformation because of the force I put here. In the meantime, I had a look on this Howe wrench, and the Howe wrench would be just fine. There are two issues with it. First, it's too short. You see, it won't even reach the nut, which is probably somewhere here. Second, it has 8 teeth, and the crown nut for the URX has 4 of them, so you would need to remove 4 of them, and then probably it will be just fine. And the last one here, when you put through this handle, it's even shorter. Yeah, so yeah, it's missing like that much. So not really working in this case, unless there is some long handguard for the L19A2, sorry, 119A2 from Howe. Then maybe this wrench come in a bigger size. Yeah, honestly I don't know. Okay, now we throw in this one. You just need to make sure that this is really like final position. Yeah, this was my issue. So again, the crown nut here. Like, if you have the proper tools, it's really simple. Yeah. Bam. And I already work with the complete gun, as finally it's a little easier to tighten the parts when you have the complete gun. Okay, now the crown nut goes tight. Okay, secure. Again, this is what I can accept. Yeah, this is nice. Bam. The fake crash nut and crash washer, sorry, and then the muzzle device. And I don't know what is the proper orientation of this muzzle device, if this should be pinned down or pinned up. I will check it later, but this is just about, like, you know, tightening it a little more or a little less. Yeah, so that's the list of the important things. In my case, I just need to drop in the charging handle and the bolt carrier. And we are done. So the frog is safe and the barrel is nicely tightened, everything is fine, and now this is the quality you want from this premium gun. So what lesson do we take from here? The lesson is that if I did not have those tools, those dedicated tools, which still they don't fit perfectly, I would never remove that. Yeah, it's like impossible. You cannot reach there, the screws are like, the nuts are really tight. You won't do it yourself, yeah, unless you have the tools. So I have no doubt that this is, let's say, not on purpose. The VFC needs to improve the quality. These are like first builds of these guns. I got it from probably like the first batch. So this is something they will definitely work on, because, you know, I'm their fanboy, I still am, and I know how it works, and they fix the issues extremely quickly. But the important thing is that you have to know about the issue, so here's my communication. Please fix this, guys. And for you buyers and the users, let's say, don't be discouraged by the gun itself, because the gun is extremely nice and extremely nice quality. Now the barrel is extremely stiff. If you get the properly assembled gun, it will be like perfect gun, yeah? But in my case, I was not so lucky. I was lucky because I bought these wrenches. I don't really think this is mandatory for everybody to have them. So for this reason, just if you can get them, and if you are afraid of this risk, if you don't have proper tools, I don't know what tools, to secure this handguard yourself, maybe it's better to just have it around. Yeah, maybe you don't need to buy it. Maybe you know some service guy who fixes the guns and would have it in your neighborhood. You know, whatever, you can just fix it once and you will never need to disassemble it again. Yeah, that's I agree with. But in order for this to be true, first it has to be assembled correctly. And here I end the video. The gun will be converted. You already see the prototype design of the trigger guard here for the hose. So you see that we are working hard on bringing this in the HPA version also on the market. Frog Engineering conversion should fit one-to-one with all the VFC AR-15 type conversions. This is to come, but for now, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, let me know what you think. And yeah, what can I say? May the power of GBBR be with you.